Hello everyone.
Hello!
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony.
She is Bryony. And we're going
she is
to
Kirsty.
be... And we're going to be Kirsty and Bryony. And we're going to
For the rest of the stream.
Podcast.
Well, we're live right now.
We're live. We're live. And hello everyone. We're listening to dreams today and finding out what's happening in them. And brains.
Yeah.
Dreams.
They're from my head because we've gone in the opposite direction. Kirsty has been having no dreams recently. Whereas I've been having like all the dreams. I've been having like exciting dreams, stress dreams. I've had so many dreams that there's been dreams I've been like, I'm not going to record that one because I've got so many dreams at the moment. It's just been, I've had an abundance.
Bryony has stolen all of my dreams.
You know, like the way that when you had miners, they would like tap into each other's minds and steal the coal from underneath. That's what I'm doing with your dreams.
Oh my God.
When you fall asleep, I sneak in and I just nuzzle my head underneath yours and steal all your dreams.
I wondered why my pillow felt so lumpy. It had a Bryony underneath it.
It's just me. I am the lump.
Yeah, my dreams have been like just very, very small, little fleeting, like, oh, this is happening and it's over. I've probably had one proper dream and I didn't record it because it was kind of boring, honestly, and nothing really happened. So yeah, my brain has been very empty for the last few weeks. Also, we should probably address the big gap that we've had. Sorry we've not done an episode in a couple of weeks, everybody.
Oh yeah, we've just been there's been a number of reasons. Yeah, like you've not been feeling very well, and you're still not super well.
Yeah, I've been on my deathbed for 2 weeks. Bryony's been
that's a perfect place to have dreams. What are we doing?
True. You'd think the dreams would come flooding in, but nope. Nothing at all. Too preoccupied with dying, a horrible death.
Oh no!
But Bryony has been very busy as well, so we've had a couple of weeks off. And
we
now
got a bit
back.
Out of sync with recording.
We did.
We are back in full stride. I feel like that's the sort of thing you shouldn't say. I feel like that's like, I'm one day away from retirement.
Yeah.
Maybe we should say, maybe we're back. Maybe
we might be back. We're still going to go tits up next week. But who knows? I'm
really excited for whenever you next come down and we can do an in-person one. I keep saying this, but I keep thinking back. I think back to the one we recorded with Simon. I don't have a favourite guest or anything, but recording with Simon in person just felt so
good,
special.
Yeah, it was really nice because you could see each other and you could read each other's faces and cues, and you know when to speak, and you wouldn't speak over each other. And
just sneak a little kiss in every now and then.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's to more of those before the year is out.
Definitely. We'll have to make sure they happen.
I sneakily suggested another pickaxe week to happen, and it was entirely selfish because the only reason I want to is because I want you to come down and we record again. But I'm like, yeah, this would be good for the network, probably. Me. It's good for me.
It's good for me. I want to see Bryony. I want to see Kirsty.
Now we're back together.
Oh. But no, we'll definitely do more in-person thingies. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nice. I brought in 2 dreams today. I brought them in for show and tell. I don't remember. I remember one of them, but I don't remember the other. But I think this was before, because I'm on such a run of stress dreams. The last 3 nights, I have woken up doing the proper, gasp, sitting up, for various reasons. But I think this was before I started doing that. So hopefully these are fairly pleasant ones.
Okay, hopefully.
Not horrible dreams. But
yeah, it's going to be another episode of Discomfort Zone.
Yay! The dream I had this morning that I didn't record that woke me up suddenly was I had this dream about like homeless people. We were looking after this homeless person in our house, and it wasn't our house. It was like a really fancy house in like that London. And but they kept on like bringing people around. They brought Eva Luno, who's an AEW wrestler. He came around to see them. And then they were like drunk and lying on the floor, and someone had come around to visit. It was the vet. The vet was round to see Fionn.
Okay.
And I like went into the bunny room and was like, they're in here. And there was literally like this woman passed out on the floor, Eva Luno over her, just like, Are you okay? Are you okay? And this other like drunk guy stumbling around, and I was like, oh my gosh, the bunnies usually aren't kept in these conditions. They're fine. And then I like let them out, and Fionn ran out the room, and then I heard this noise, and this dog was in the house, and they were chasing Fionn, and I was like, who let a dog in the house? And they were just chasing her round and round. And at one point, like every time I went to grab the dog, I went into like jelly motion, you know, in dreams where you're like,
so you
stop the dog. But the dog was just like running, and then Fionn stopped for a bit, and the dog was running towards her, and I literally just woke up like, just like my baby. But we took the bunnies went to the vet yesterday because Fionn's been having some like problems. So I think it's literally just that. I think it's just that feeling of like the dog was just medical problems.
Yeah,
and
honestly.
that's what was chasing her. I think it's as simple as that. But
no, I think it would be like when the buns are sick, you do get so stressed, and rightfully so. But you always get super stressed, and that is 100% what I think that dream would be about. Like you just panicking about the babies.
It's just so weird that I had that dream the day after, like the day that we had seen Fionn, and I knew everything that was wrong, and I had a plan going forward. Whereas the night before, the stress dream I had was about woodworm. It's that I had this piece of furniture, and I literally woke up like 4 times throughout the night because all of a sudden the worms had made another hole, and I'd wake up just like, the worms!
Oh my God.
And then I'd go back to sleep, and then they would have chewed another hole, and I'd be like, oh my God, the worms! And I kept on waiting. Like, I probably got a good few hours sleep, but you know when you wake up feeling like you only had like 2 hours sleep?
Yeah.
And in reality, it was probably like 8 hours and I was fine, but it's just that feeling of like, I was awake all night screaming worms.
Why were you dreaming about woodworm? Do you have furniture riddled with woodworm right now, or was that just a very random brain thing?
Well, I think we do have woodworm on one piece of furniture, and it's stressing me out so much. And I've not like, it's one of those things that I think it's just because you start imagining like, what if it is woodworm? What if they are still in there? What if they get out into the whole house? What if one day I sneeze and my house crumbles down around me?
Oh my God. What is it? It's not your table, is it?
Yeah.
It is. I was going to say, what's the biggest, woodiest thing I can think of in your house? And it is your dining table.
What's the most awkward thing? And it's like, I was reading up about them, and I think they lay dormant for like ages, and all of a sudden they come out. So I'm looking at this hole, and I'm like, have I just not noticed you? Or are you new?
They're
and I think the
sleeping.
idea of it has made me so like, I just have this image of like, what if all of a sudden like 1,000 worms just burst out the table like some sort of worm pinata, but maybe it's fine. But just seeing the one hole was enough to set me off for an entire night of panic.
God. Woodworm it's really strange because when I was a kid, in the house that I was like born and grew up in, we had like this big round bathtub, and it had wooden slats like around the edge, which is a terrible idea. I don't know why. It was the 90s. And I distinctly remember that wood getting woodworm when I was a kid. So whenever people mention woodworm, it always just takes me back to being a kid and like being in that bath and looking at the wood at the tiny little holes and being like, there are little worms.
Aww. It always makes me think of any time I've stayed in like a older house, and you can just see like when you've got wooden beams and they're absolutely full of holes.
Yeah, there was I went away with my D&D group fairly recently, Because when, like, 3 of them have gotten married in the last few years, and whenever one of them does...
To each other?
To each other. No, not to each other, but, I mean, they probably would, given the chance. But we go away for a weekend in, like, a nice cottage or something, and we just play D&D all weekend, and that is their stag do. And the most recent one, we went back to an old... it was a barn conversion. It's like this massive house with loads of little rooms and a big table for us to play D&D. And I was laying in bed, and it had these wooden beams on the ceiling. And I looked, and I was like, these have got loads of woodworm in them. These are absolutely riddled with woodworm. How did I never see this before? So, yeah, old buildings for sure. Like, I always look.
You always think, like, is this structurally sound? I guess it must be. Like, have the worms gone? Are the worms still in there? Whenever I see that many holes, it always just confuses me a bit.
You never actually see the woodworm themselves. You just see the holes. And you know they've been there.
Worm was here.
Worm was here. Are you still there, Worm, or did you move on?
Yeah. But yeah, literally just like this. I mean, we're thinking like maybe... just get the table treated anyway, just in case, maybe. But it might be because our table wood came from an old barn, so it might just be that they were there when it was made and only just noticed it.
They've just been hanging out.
And yeah. So yeah. It's stinky.
It's pretty stinky.
But it's one of those things. I think it's because...
Just adopt them, new pets.
Yay! New worm just dropped.
Oh, yeah. It's a new post for Worm TikTok. Look, everyone, I've got woodworm.
It's so illogical because our table is so chunky, but in my head, I'm like, if it does have worms in there, one day I'm going to like lean on the table and it's just going to collapse into a pile of dust. When in reality, it would probably take about 100 years for the worms to actually make their way through to the point where it wasn't structurally sound anymore.
It's probably fine. Maybe.
But yeah, I think it's just that I've been like so stressed about other stuff recently. And as soon as, when it's just like...
one thing after another.
Well, I think when you're just keeping it together and then one thing happens and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm going to pretend that everything wrong in my life is this one thing. Instead of acknowledging everything else, I'll be like, nope, this is the problem I have. This hole in this table, that's the real issue here. Yep. Let's ignore everything else. I think I've done that. Yay.
Every worm is another problem. I've got 9 head problems, and they're
all worms. Worms.
Oh. Well, my one dream that I had was... that we were all on Discord, which we do quite often, IRL.
Yeah.
And Daltos said, let's play Rust. Everyone, I want to start a Rust server, which he does quite often, really. And often I'm like, yeah, let's do it, but nobody ever does it. But in the dream, I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then suddenly, me and Daltos were in Rust, and Daltos was building a base. And then it was like, right, we need to go and raid another base. So we went off to another base, and Daltos was like, oh, they're not home. They're never here. Like, we can just go in and steal their stuff. It'll be fine. And I looked, and I was like, dude, there's literally one in one of the windows right there, and he's got a gun. And he's like, oh, no. So we had to run, and we were like hopping the fences, and we were running away, and they were chasing us with guns. And then suddenly we had guns, and then we had to turn around and try and overpower them. And then... a policeman turned up and was like, well, what do y'all think y'all are doing? Stop with all the shooting. Yeehaw. And then that was it.
Oh my gosh.
That was the dream. And that's why I didn't record it. Because it was
the downloading.
Stop all the download.
Whilst you were telling me that, I thought out of curiosity I would look up worm in the book.
Oh.
And it says, at its very basic interpretation, the worm can suggest the penis. So there you go. There you go.
So many tiny penises invading your table.
Gosh darn penises. They strike again.
They just get everywhere.
Yeah. Would you like to hear one of my dreams that isn't a stress dream, I don't think. I literally have no memory of what this is.
Of course.
So, I have 2 dreams today. I meant to say 3 because one of them's 3 minutes long and I was just looking at 3. So I was like, so 2 dreams. The 2 dreams. But yes, okay, here we go. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. So I had this dream that Stop Your Beefing was closing down. And the head chef was this Italian guy, and they'd said that they were going to give some stuff away, like pots and pans. But he wanted to check that people's kitchens were worthy of his equipment, sort of thing. So I was cooking dinner in this kitchen. I have absolutely no idea whose kitchen it was even meant to be. And there was a knock on the door, and he walks in with, like, this assistant as well. And the 2 of them were both, like, walking around the kitchen and, like, looking how clean our pans were and how I chopped potatoes, and I'd made, like, a roast dinner, and he, like, for some reason we'd kept some leftover potatoes and Alex had just poured gravy over them, and he just, like, picked up some and then he just spat it out and stuff, and he was like, okay, I'll let you know. And he left, and I was like, blooming heck, I don't think I want anything from this guy. That was a bit odd. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna head out. And I think I was like at this like holiday house for a bit, but I don't really remember anything that happened there. But then later I was walking home and I bumped into Finn Wolfhard, who was meant to be like my little sister's boyfriend. And we were chatting away, and I was just saying, like, oh yeah, it's really odd. This, like, Italian chef guy turned up, and he was really, like, for someone who's just giving stuff away, he seemed really on edge about it. And I was like, anyway, I guess I'll head home. And as we were walking, this car drove by, and I just knew it had the chef in. And we walked around the corner, and the car pulled into this car park, and this big angry guy got out, and he was like, what did you say about the chef? And he, like, pushed me and was just being really like angry about it, and I was like, I didn't say anything about it. And he just, like, pushed me until I fell over, and he, like, climbed on top of me and was like gently poking my eyes, just like, what did you say about it? And I was like, what the heck are you doing? I was like shouting for help. I was like, I didn't say anything about your chef, like, what's going on? And eventually I managed to, like, push him in a way that he stood up, and the relief of him just getting off me, like, made me wake up. It was a bit of a weird ending. Bit of a weird one. Yeah, there you go. That end. Bye bye.
Are you sure that wasn't a stress stream?
Yeah, as soon as I started listening back to it, I was like, oh no, I remember how this ends now. It's just a happy dream. Just a happy dream. Oh my goodness. So for context, there is a place called Stop Your Beefing.
Yes, which, I've heard of Stop Your Beefing, I think.
They do pies and donuts, and they did close down, and I wanted to go and see them, and they were like, we've got 2 weeks left, and then for some reason they were like, really sorry, our last day is today and we're closed. Oh. And I was like, I never got to go and have the pie.
Aww.
So it was just about that, really. But I don't know why the man was so angry. And you've not seen Stranger Things, have you?
No, I haven't.
Finn Wolfhard is the main... Well, not really the main, but he plays like one of the main characters in that.
Is he the curly-haired one?
He's the sort of longish-haired one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I see.
Italian chef. Angry.
Very angry Italian chef. And you never got any of his pots and pans?
I never did. I don't think my kitchen was up to scratch. And I was like, I don't want anything from you because you're stinky anyway.
So you're pretty stinky. I'm not interested. And your stinky pots and pans.
Saying that my potatoes weren't good enough.
Did you say he spat them out?
Yeah, he was just like,
what the heck?
Bellissiment. I don't know the opposite of bellissimo.
Bellissiment.
Bellissim-nat.
Nat. Yeah, like, I mean, it sounded like a job interview. It's like when you were making potatoes for him, it was, and then it was like, we'll get back to you. Okay.
Yeah. And it's the fact that he just like turned up in the middle of the night. Because I remember the house, it wasn't our house. It was sort of like a terraced London house.
Okay.
But in like where, I'm trying to think how to describe it. It was like in the 60s, like a 60s London terraced house. And the kitchen looked out onto the street. It was like that. And it was just very like, oh, yeah, he just turned up and I was like, hello?
Hello?
But yeah, it's just very odd.
How strange. And the bit at the end, it sounded like would you have had like, do you sleep with like extra blankets or anything that might have been like heavy on you while you were asleep?
Well, I'm trying to think because
did Alex roll over?
Then, he was just holding a pillow over my face. I don't know what the dream was about. It was like, maybe we would have had like an extra blanket then, because we used to have an extra blanket on our bed, but when it was cold. But I can't remember if it would have been getting a bit warmer but we only recently took it off, so it could well be that it was just the weight of the extra blankie.
Mayhaps. Poking you in the eyes.
Yeah. See, the weird thing is, I watched a show recently where someone does sort of like stick that, they don't harm them really, but they do sort of like put their thumbs onto the person's eyes. Yeah. But this was before
like in
that.
Game of Thrones. I feel like I've seen something where that happened recently as well, but I can't remember what it was.
But it was just really like I hate that feeling of when someone is like tickling you or attacking you in your dream, and you're just like, stop, just get away,
get away from me,
stop
it.
It was just very spoopy, and I just woke up just like,
I wonder if like it was, I mean, maybe it wasn't stress, maybe you were just thinking about stop your beefing. And then you got tangled up in a blanket while you were asleep.
Because I was trying to eat the pie. It just looked really good. Hopefully they'll be back. I don't think them as a company are like done. I think they just had to leave the kitchen for some reason.
Right.
But, it's just this thing of like, it's on... This is such a side ramble, but they were on Gloucester Road, and Gloucester Road is just so far away from where we are, and it's just like all the good food is on Gloucester Road, and I always mean to travel over there, but I just didn't make it in time. And now they're gone. The pies and the donuts.
They might come back though. You never know.
Maybe
they might come back.
I wonder if I could look up. In like a body, if there's anything specific about eyes, like if it's going to be like, to have your eyes poked. Any dream to do with the eye is to do with observation and discrimination. It is indicative of enlightenment and wisdom, protection and stability. It has a connection with the power of light and in ancient times of the sun gods. Okay.
See.
So, I don't know what that means.
They were poking you in your...
in my enlightenment. They poked my wisdom holes.
No, not my wisdom holes.
I wonder if there's anything to do with like... I can't look up chef. Is there another word for chef?
Cook.
That I can't think of. Oh yeah, cook. Cook. Conch? No.
Conch.
Cord. Cooking? To be cooking in a dream is to be preparing nourishment or to be satisfying a hunger, whether our own or other people's. This hunger may not be as straightforward as a physical hunger. I mean, it probably is with me. But something more subtle, such as the need to make use of the varied opportunities available to us. Maybe it was something to do with that. I wonder if it's something to do... I can't even think what would have been going on at this time. This dream was the 26th of May.
26th of May, so a couple of weeks ago.
2 weeks, and I can't remember what I would have been thinking or feeling at that time. But I wonder if it was that I was, like, doing a project and someone was trying to offer... It could be as simple as I was playing a game on stream and someone was trying to backseat or give advice.
Yeah.
And they are the Italian chef trying to make me cook with their pots and pans. And I'm like, no, I want to have my gravy potatoes.
I want to use my own pots and pans.
They might not be good enough for you, but I like these potatoes so sodja. Maybe it was just something like that. But I can't remember anything. I don't know. I don't know what I did on the 26th of May.
I've looked back in our messages to the 26th, and the only message you sent me that day was about Reddit. So...
Oh.
Maybe you were on Reddit.
Although I guess, check the 25th, because I guess this was the morning of the 26th, so it would have been whatever happened on the 25th.
Okay, so the 25th, you had a horrible dream. I don't know if this is one that you didn't want to record, so I won't repeat it.
Oh, maybe, because I obviously didn't... this was the latest one in my phone, so maybe... am I just stressed about stress dreams now? Is this what's happening? I'm on like a loop.
You were... you had a horrible dream and you cried when you woke up. I had no dreams again. And then I had a headache, so we couldn't record. And that was it.
Our DMs to each other are very lovely. Oh, I just looked back at my schedule, and on that day, I was streaming Wild Frost.
Oh, okay.
And that game kicks my ass, much like the mafia friend of an Italian chef would. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe it was Wild Frost poking your eyes out.
Honestly, like, Wild Frost is so... It is a good game, but it's so tough.
I have heard that it's very difficult.
It makes me feel like it's deceptively cute. The art style is beautiful, and the characters they're like Adventure Time style. They're so, like, they have good names. The humor of the game is good, but that just adds to the deception that it's like having an adorable like animal biting you, and you're just like, oh, look at them. I love you. And it just keeps on knocking you down, and you keep getting back up because you're like, no, it must have been me. It wasn't the game. Can't be the game. The game's so cute. But it is the game.
It was the game after all.
It's like the other day, Alex and I would just finish dinner, and I was coming upstairs to do some editing, but I was like, I've got a brownie and a cup of tea. I'm just going to play a quick Wild Frost because I hate myself, and then I'll get on with work. Alex was like, would you keep on playing this game if it was any other style? And I was like, nope, maybe no. But I love it so much, but I hate it, but I love it, but I hate it.
But it's so bright and cute, but I hate it. It's so stressful, but it's so beautiful.
Oh, I feel like one day maybe I'll be better at it. Maybe. If they patch it to be possible.
Easy.
Until then, I'll just let it keep on kicking my ass.
Poking my eyes. Oh.
Dear, oh dear.
Dear, oh dear. Well, you do have another dream.
I do.
You do?
So this dream was a dream that I don't remember when I had it, but it suddenly came back to me, so I recorded it, which is why it has a title and not a date name.
Okay.
it's called Pedro Pascal's Spooky Dream.
Oh.
And I remember the bit with Pedro Pascal in it, but I don't remember why it was spooky. So
right.
We shall see. But there is something that I've been holding off looking up about this dream because, well, I'll tell you afterwards. But yeah, I'm curious to see if there's anything in the book about this one.
All right.
But yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so this is actually a dream I had a few days ago, but I want to record it in case I forget. But it started off, I was slow dancing with Pedro Pascal, and I think he was going to get married, because I was like, what's your first dance going to be? And he was like, I don't want to set the world on fire. I was like, oh my gosh, by the ink spots. That's the first dance we had. And then it turned out we were at some like big Christmas Yogscast event. There was a bit like those like TV specials that you get where they have like, you know, that they've set up the studio to look like a big Christmas wonderland and stuff. And Lewis was like, okay, it's time. And Alex had set up this robot that was like, you know, those 3D printing pens. It was meant to write these 3 numbers with this little arm, and the arm popped up. Alex pressed the button and the arm popped up. I think it was going to write like 073 or 074 or something, and then the arm kept falling down and it kept like the numbers were going all squiffy, and Alex was like, oh my gosh, like he was finding it really funny. He was like, oh, it worked, honestly it worked. I don't really remember much of that part of the dream, but then it cut to me lying in bed exactly how I had been lying in bed at that time, and the door started to open slowly, and I was like, no, I'm alone in the house. I know that Alex has gone to work, and this really tall guy started to walk in, and he was dressed in dark blue doctor's scrubs, and he was just walking really slowly, and I was like, no, I know I'm asleep, this isn't happening, I need to wake up. And I was really like trying to make a noise or like move, and I just couldn't move, and I was trying to, and eventually I managed to like squeeze my leg with my hand, and I did wake up. But in the dream, I was trying to like shout, and I woke up and I was just going like, but yeah, it was really, I don't know if it was like just a dream about sleep paralysis or something, but oh my gosh, I never want that again. It was spoopy. No, thank you. Bye.
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, it was horrible. And I was like, I remember going to sleep the next night and being like, do I have sleep paralysis now? Is this a thing? It was horrible.
Oh my God. That does sound terrifying. Every night, right, I lay in bed and I look at my door and I think, what if I have sleep paralysis and something standing there? Every night without fail. I'm like, please don't have sleep paralysis tonight. That would be awful. I've never really had sleep paralysis in my life, but I have this like fear that one day it's gonna happen and it's gonna be terrible. So yeah, that's like super spooky, super duper spooky.
It was like, because I was lying, so the door, if you're lying in my bed, please get out. You shouldn't do that. But if you're lying in my bed, the door is like along the wall on the right-hand side. And I was on my right side, so facing towards the door, but the door is like down by the foot of the bed. And because the way the door then opened, the guy had like walked in and he was walking around behind me, and that's what made it extra scary. Was I was like, he's out of my field of vision now. I don't know what he's doing, and he's dressed like a doctor, and that's terrifying, and I don't know what to do. And
oh my God.
I just remember like really trying to like make any movement or make any sound that would, and I knew I was dreaming, but I was just really like, I need to wake up now. And I did manage to like give my leg like just a little squeeze, but it was just so funny the way I just remember that I did wake up being like, because I was like trying to shout, but that's all that was coming out, was just like, oh. But yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Oh my God.
Memory unlocked.
So honestly, sounds like a stress dream. Gonna be honest, sounds like you're stressing again.
Yeah. But the thing I was saying I wanted to look up about this is the next night, a dream that I didn't record because I thought it would be too weird, but now I'm going to retell it anyway. So, you know, I saw Alistair the other day and he was like, I swear every time I listen to Comfort Zone, you're mentioning me, but I'm going to mention him again now because I had another dream either the next night or the night after that I had gone back to uni and Alistair was my teacher, but he was also on the course. There were 2 Alistairs. And there was like a freshers dance or like the night before uni starts like dance thing. And I was dancing with teacher Alistair and student Alistair was like, what are you doing? That's weird. Stop it. Just like following us around. Just like, stop. This is weird. And I woke up and I was like, why am I having dancing dreams recently? Why do I be dancing? So I held off
so much.
I held off looking up dancing because I was like, I'll do it now and see how it is related to the penis.
Okay, here we go. Here is the live dancing thing.
Dancing queen.
Dancing thing.
Oh, okay. It says dance has always represented freedom and been symbolic of other actions which were necessary for survival.
Oh.
To be dancing in a dream portrays the creation of happiness, feeling at one with the surroundings, and possibly getting closer or more intimate with a partner. Psychologically, dance can be a reinforcement of freedom of movement, strength, and emotion. Well, there you go.
Well, that sounds good.
It sounds positive.
And not a penis in sight.
No. Where's the pee-pee?
Where is the pee-pee?
It also says spiritually, dancing has always been taken to represent the rhythm of life. The patterns created are reputed to mirror the patterns of creativity. Dance also signifies... Turn the page. Is it going to say the penis? Turn the page. The transformation of space into time. What?
Oh.
Wait, no. Oh, no, that is the right page. Okay.
Space into time.
Space
what?
Into time.
What does that mean?
Now turned space into time.
Oh, my God.
I did it.
You with your magical dancing.
Suck it, Doctor Who. I've done it.
I've only gone and done it. All you had to do was dance.
Yeah, how bizarre.
Well, at least you got to slow dance with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. The next day after I saw the stream, I think I went to... After did I say I saw the stream?
I saw the stream
in my head. And I went to the pub and I saw Ravs. And I said to Rav said to me, he was like, I want to come on Comfort Zone. So let me know when and stuff. And I said to him, oh yeah, I had a dream last night that I slow danced with Pedro Pascal. And he just went, that's a good dream. I was like, okay.
That's a good dream.
That's a good dream.
That's a very good dream. Oh dear. Yeah, I remember he messaged me that day and was like, I want to be on Comfort Zone. I was like, okay. Cool. We'll have to get him on.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't understand what the dancing... I mean, it sounds like it's good being at rhythm.
Dancing just seems like quite a positive thing in a dream.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than being pinned down and having your eyes poked out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's always better than that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what the people could represent. Like, if it's something like if I was dancing with, I don't know, say... Lewis, maybe he would represent the Yogscast and me feeling like I'm having a good time as part of the network. But I'm like, what does Pedro Pascal represent in my life?
It doesn't necessarily have to represent anything, does it? It's like when people get a tattoo. You know, people are like, "Oh, what does your tattoo mean?" It's like, doesn't mean anything. I just wanted a rat.
Liked it.
I just like bunnies, and I wanted one. Like you just like Pedro Pascal, and you just wanted to dream about him. You know,
I was dreaming about him getting married, but I don't know why I got to have a dance with him, being like, "So, how are you going to dance with your new wife?" And it was Christmas. I don't know why it was Christmas. Maybe I'm going to look up Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas tree, but not just straight up Christmas. I mean, there were trees, but it wasn't
when
a Christmas
did you have
tree.
this dream?
Like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Nowhere near Christmas.
I wondered because I literally said yesterday, I wish it was Christmas.
I have been thinking about Jingle Jam a lot recently, but
I can't wait until Jingle Jam. I just want to see all of my friends.
It's so difficult not to, because obviously you don't want to like wish the year away, but also it's so difficult not to be excited for it. Like, I messaged Potato yesterday with a picture of Fion, because Potato messaged me a few weeks ago being like, do you ever let the bunnies sniff human food just see their reaction? And I was like, no, Fion climbs on me when I'm eating and tries to steal my food. I don't need to let her. She just does it. And then I was going through photos yesterday, and I found a photo of Fion literally like climbing onto my plate to try and steal my sandwich, and I sent it to him, and he was like, I wish I could touch her soft head. And I immediately responded like, are you coming over for Jingle Jam? And I'm like, it's like 6 months away, and I'm just like, Jingle Jam?
Any plans for 6 months' time? Are you coming to visit? Oh, no, it's true. Like, oh, God, I just really want to see everybody. Like, you were sending us pictures yesterday of us all together, and I was just like, oh, I miss my friends.
Yeah, it's just nice when everyone's together, and it's the most wonderful time. I keep on watching him because Alex really likes the tennis, and he's watching the French Open at the moment. And they have this tennis advert. I don't know what it's for. It may just literally be an advert for tennis. I don't really know. But it has that song in it. But the most wonderful time of the year for them is just tennis, the time.
I remember there was a holiday advert that used that song a couple of years ago as well. It was like summer holidays, and they would play the fucking Christmas song.
But in the advert, it's like snowing clay because French Open is on a clay court. So it's just all this clay falling from the sky, and it's like, it's the most wonderful time when the clay is claying and everyone's claying and clay. Well, Alex does a thing where, like, whenever he puts the tennis on, he'll be like, oh, do you mind if we watch it? Because, you know, it's like, it's once a year sort of thing. And I'm like, it's not, because there is the French Open and Wimbledon and Queen's, whatever comes before Wimbledon, and the Australian Open and the US Open, and I'm like, it's all year.
There are many opens.
It's like my parents were saying, oh, it's the end of the football season now, and then they'd be like, oh no, it's this league has started, the Europe and the blah blah blah, the Premiership. I'm just like, there's always football. It doesn't end.
It just never ends. There's always sports to be watched. Let it end, please.
True seasons are for fans of Yella's Marble Run, where there is literally the Marble League, and then you just have to wait. And there is the Marbula One, but it's not the same. And
Marbula One?
Yeah. There is the Marbula One. That's going on. Oh no, it's Marble Rally at the moment, and then it will be Marbula One. And there is sometimes the Winter Marble League as well, which is very exciting.
Sounds like the marbles isn't once a year.
Maybe I make the same excuse. But the thing is, with the Marble Rally, it's different marbles. So it's like, it's weird because sometimes I look at the marble merch and it'll be all these different marbles that I don't actually know who they are. And I'm like, oh, I thought I knew marbles. But there's all these other like sports marbles that I don't know.
Oh. New blood, new young, fresh, supple marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good when the Marble League comes around though. Oh, I'm so excited.
When does it start?
Love it. Not until... Not for a couple of months, I don't think.
Okay, so like when it's nice and warm, good marble weather.
Yeah. In like a week or so time, I think, is the qualifiers for another race thing. Maybe I should just get into the races. I've never really been like... I like all the different events that they have at Marble League, and then the race is just... It's just racing, so it's not as like... But it is exciting to see the marbles. That's the end of the sentence. It's exciting to see marbles. You know that Lewis went away to Florida recently?
Yeah.
And he went to this glass place. Glass. And he sent Alex a picture of all these marbles. And he was like, oh, do you want any? And I was like, why didn't you send it to me, Lewis?
Oh my God, I would have been all over that. I would have been like, yes, give me every marble.
I want one of every marble. Because I have it in my head that one day I would really love to make like amateur Marble League. Like because all of the teams have their own backstories. Like Team Momo met in a Momo dumpling bar, and that's why they're called Team Momo, because they got talking about how they've always loved the Marble League, and then they qualified and they got in. But I would love to do one that's like a really janky version, and it's all of these like amateur marbles that aren't good enough to be in the league. And so they just have this like the Dad's Army version of Marble League. And I need to sit down and have a proper think about...
How many marbles are in a team?
Well, there tends to be 4 marbles in a team, but they'll always have like a reserve marble and a coach as well.
Okay. I'm going to start putting a team together.
See, this is the thing. I reckon if we did it as like a Yogs thing and everyone could have their own team, and you get given your marbles and then you just have to come up with like the names and the backstories for them. And then we could all end... Oh, it'd just be so good. I just love marbles.
Let's do it. Let's just make our own Marble League.
Maybe if I go back and look at the really, like the first videos that Yella ever put out, because I reckon, like, it's obviously very, very swish now, but I reckon the early stuff must have been quite like basic and... I mean, a lot of it is just like connects and like just standard marble kits that I think you can just buy, like modular ones. So maybe if I just invest in some of those, and we could come up with some sports. Oh
my God, please! I want to have like a team of oddball marbles. Like all the funny looking ones, you know, they'd have fun backstories. You know, this one, he was too lumpy to be in Marble League, so he's trying he luck.
Oh, they're just so good. One of my favorite things is when you introduce someone to Marble League and they're like, marbles, like why would you? And they are picturing, foolishly, they are picturing marbles being controlled by people. And I'm like, no. The marbles are the sportsmen. They are the sports folk, these little marbles. They are athletes. They are trained athletes. And then they watch it and you can just see them be like, why am I so hooked? I don't understand.
It's so hype to watch. Like, it's so fun. I'm on eBay now looking at marbles. Oh my God, there's so many beautiful marbles.
They're just really good. They're all good marbs.
Very, very good marbs.
I've gone all the way back to 2017 to look at the Marble League, and there's all like, it's just like Duplo and Connects.
Oh, nice.
But I reckon you could do like a really... I guess you just have to think about a sport, and then you have to think, how would marbles?
How would marbles?
How would this? But the marbles. And then that's how you do it. Perfect.
Oh my god, there are so many beautiful marbles. Why have you done this to me, Bryony?
I reckon Tom would be on board. Wait, that doesn't round it down. Tom Clark would be on board.
I think Tom Clark would be totally down for some marbles.
Because he loves marbles as well. But yeah, marbles. I'm going to start. I reckon, could you get like, if I search wooden toy tube, could you get just like, I wonder if there's like toy train sets or something that would have track that would be suitable. Or what if you literally just search for Marble Run?
Yeah, I'm sure that would work.
Because I guess the thing you don't want is, I mean, you could do time trials on a Marble Run, but I guess not all of them are built for, like, them racing against each other or anything. Like, all at the same time. Oh, Gravitrax, that's the one I think that Yellow uses a lot. With all the, those tend to be not for the league, but for, you get these videos that are like 10,000 marbles on one track making beautiful music. Yeah, those are the just for fun ones. When the marbles, they've worked hard and they just want to have a little bit of time off. Oh, wait, how do you do this? Marble Run Race Plasticine ASMR Pop Tube Train.
Oh my god.
That's so many words and I like all of them. They're just good.
Marbles are good. Marbles are great.
Marbles. Well, on that note.
Well. She's found more stuff.
Found some really good, like wooden, like chunky marble runs. Oh, I want this. I want to play with marbles.
Now I do too. I can't believe this.
Oh. Well, we can do it. We can make the Comfort Zone. It could be sponsored by Comfort Zone. We could print out little signs and put them around the stadium, like how it used to be
Comfort Zone Marble League.
Oh, what was he called? The guy who used to he sponsored a year of the marble runs. And everything, there'd be like a little announcement in between all of the events, like sponsored by blah blah blah. But that could be us. We could be with your hosts, Kirsty and Brady.
Oh my goodness!
I wonder if there's.
We need to get working on that. Honestly,
do you know what? I'm going to search for some of my favourite words on eBay.
Your favourite words?
Yeah. Marble job lot. Oh, I bloomin' love looking at a job lot. I love a job lot, me. Do you ever just look at job lots?
Just love a job lot. Yeah, I mean, I have looked. I have partaken.
I'll be like, Doll's House, job lot.
Job lot.
Something really exciting about just adding the word job lot to anything. A huge lot. Lakeshore Super Fun Marble Run Construction STEM Building.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I hope you're all hyped for the Comfort Zone Marble League.
Yeah, we're just it will be a podcast Marble League, so you'll just hear the sounds of it.
It'll be like listening to the horse racing on the radio.
Yeah, they're running. They're still running. One of them's running. They're all running now. Running.
They're rolling. Oh, that one's been. Oh god, it's stuck. Oh jeez. Oh, but it's been hit in the butt and it's rolling again. Oh my goodness. Oh. Well, this is where all my money's gonna go now. Bye bye. Bye bye, money.
Bye bye. Well, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Putting up with my stress dreams. And remember, everyone, that this was in the time that I thought I wasn't having stress dreams. So tune in next time to hear the really bad ones.
And maybe I'll have some for next time.
Yay!
But no promises. Woohoo!
Well, thank you, Kirsty, for a lovely chat.
Thank you, Bryony, for a lovely chat. And we will see you all next time.
Until next time, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.